Because I had this conversation with Antonio yesterday.
And
I'll drag him again, but for the public. But I just want to know.
I know how many alarms Antonio has in the morning.
Oh, let me get into it. I'll get into it though. But Dahlia, how many alarms do you have for the morning?
I think I have at least like 5, maybe 6.
I think
rookie.
And they're like
10. You need to shut the hell up.
They're like 10-minute intervals. I think I don't do my 6 o'clock one anymore, but I do 6:10, 6:20, 6:30, 40, 50, and or maybe that's 6, so 7. But I'm usually awake after the first one. I just like to keep the other ones on so that when I'm getting ready, I know that I'm like, okay, cool. I only have like 20 minutes left.
Ketzel?
I used to have a lot more because I feel like I used to just go to sleep a lot quicker. And now when I wake up, my body's like, you're up, bitch. So I only have 3. I have 6, 6:10, and then 6:15. And that 6:15, just like Dahlia, is like that reminder of when I'm still fucking around on my phone in the toilet that you gotta get up, bitch. Wipe and get up, bitch.
Yeah, I have 5, and mine start from 6 to 6:55. So they're like
5-minute, 15-minute intervals.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not to my best gal over there.
So
I have something like 11 joules in this crown.
So let me tell you. Let me tell you. So my schedule's changed. I work 7 to 4. I used to work 8 to 5. So I didn't really notice Antonio's alarms because he was usually gone by the time I was like up in my office. But now I get up earlier than him, so I have the privilege and honor of getting up and hearing all of his alarms. This fool has an alarm that does like nature sounds, which I think is the alarm you got him, that has the sunlight thing.
Yeah, I did get him that, and we all said that's not going to help you, Antonio, but okay.
So
I have heard that one when I stayed at your house right after I came back from France. I was like, what is that?
It's like birds, water, fucking just nature sounds, right? And then he has his alarm going off, and it's like his like phone alarm, I'm assuming, is like fucking loud as shit. And then the last thing he has going on in his fucking chaos of a black hole of a room is music playing. Alexa will play music, so there's like David Bowie or Queen playing.
Fuck David Bowie.
So I'll be sitting in my office at like 7:05, and all of that's going on, and I can hear it because it's right next to my office.
Can I ask you, are you even awake?
Are you okay?
You're still sleeping.
I will sleep through the end of the world.
That explains a lot because, again, that morning I came back and I was like sleeping at you guys' house. I was like, those alarms were going off maybe for like 15 minutes before they went off. Like all of them turned off.
Okay.
And I was like, is this normal?
It is fucking my turn when I stayed over at your fucking place in the summer when I stayed over for a fucking week. In the mornings, I'd fucking hear this orchestra that you play for yourself.
I start a concert every morning and I'm asleep.
I was about to fucking get up and wring your fucking neck to wake you up.
No one asked you to stay over.
I was invited.
That was perfectly
a mistake.
That was perfectly put. Fucking orchestra of sounds.
I love that this became a roast of Antonio. I do want to say, what noise would get you up? What would it take? What will it take, Antonio?
Your cat vomiting?
I have no idea. I have zero clue as to what will actually get me up aside from like actual physical touch.
So any suitors out there, good luck.
Have fun.
Just make sure you like sounds.
Do you know sign language? Because maybe your perfect mate can't hear.
Maybe my perfect mate is deaf.
Happy holidays, y'all, and welcome to Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. My name's Dahlia.
I'm Sky.
I'm Antonio.
And I'm Ketzel.
And we're just 4 bumbling house burglars who watch movies that everyone else has watched, except one of us is a loser who hasn't. Today we're watching a movie that is one of the most famous Christmas movies of all time and made Macaulay Culkin a child star, Home Alone, released in 1990, directed by John Hughes. And today's loser is
Ketzel.
Thanks for the jingles.
Love it.
I love that entrance. It's me. I've never seen this movie. It was on TV I do realize that. Didn't watch it. Instead, I would skip the channel and go watch Da Vinci Code an 80th time.
During
Wonderful.
Christmas?
During Christmas.
During Christmas in like 1990, what year would this have been when you were watching it? I didn't realize it was 1990.
They were born in 94.
They
right?
played it?
Yes.
Okay, but I wasn't watching it as a
Yeah, you
2-year-old.
weren't watching it from in
Yeah.
utero. In utero.
In uteri. In uteri.
In uteri.
In uteri.
But I guess, yeah, this must have been one of those where you're just like, and then you're like watching something else that you liked, but
Yeah, it was always on like fucking what was that one channel that always
ABC?
ABC Family. ABC Family. It was always on, but I would not watch it. I don't know. I feel like we owned them too. I just didn't watch it. I think that was I don't know what I was doing, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you.
yeah, I mean, I've
I
seen
don't-
Home
I've-
Alone 3 the most, I think, out
too.
of all of them.
I was gonna say I have seen all of them.
I didn't even know there were 3
Uh,
until 2 seconds ago.
There's 4.
I didn't know there were
Wow.
4 until 1 second ago.
I have seen all of them. I've seen this one quite a bit, but I've seen 3 the most for some fucking reason, and like it's different than the first 2, obviously.
Right.
So it's really weird that 3 is the one we've seen the most. And when you said that, I was like, oh my god, me too. I used to watch that with my
'Cause I
great
was a
grandma all the
TV
time.
kid.
It's like the movies Bring It On, you know, the cheerleading movies. They always had 3
Yes.
playing the most on like E.
Yeah, the one with Hayden Panettiere, right?
Uh-huh. And Solange
Really?
Knowles.
Time.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
It's always on TV.
That's besides the point. Why did we pick this movie? It's a Christmas movie, duh.
Duh.
Because it's Christmas, y'all. And even if you don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays to you. We're all inclusive, even if you don't celebrate any of them. Like Sky.
I like celebrate Christmas. I like the gift giving Christmas. I love giving gifts. You all know that. I'll do it randomly
Yeah, you
throughout
do.
the year.
Yeah, my closets, my bookshelves, everything is full.
Tea. So I like that aspect of Christmas, but I don't know. It's I'm a Halloween gal. So I don't know what to tell you.
I just love being festive, so that's me. But
That's everybody. That's literally everybody in my life except for me.
Yeah, that's all of us. I love being festive.
You just gotta throw yourself into all the seasons, you know. You just gotta enjoy it all.
y'all see my door, my fall wreath? You liked it?
Oh yeah, because we're recording this in September.
Y'all like
I
that
have
though?
a wreath.
Did you like it anyways?
I have a Valentine's
you like
wreath.
being watched?
But another reason why we picked this movie is because I wanted it to be on the list because I have a lot to say. I have so many comments about this movie because
This one
What?
specifically?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I do want to say, back when this was not even a thing, we had no mics, nothing, just a girl with a dream. Me and Dolly were going through like movies, like top 100 movies or whatever. Dolly was like, "Has anybody seen Home Alone?" And I was like, I don't know. I have no idea." And Dolly was like, "I have so much to say about that. Please put that on the list." And I was like, "Okay."
We'll put it on just
So
to be able
I'm-
to talk about
okay.
it.
So I'm so curious of like what you have to say about this movie.
It sounds
have
bad. It
comments.
sounds negative.
No, I just have
Right?
so
No,
many
that's
questions.
like I'm like, whoa, is she coming out? She's gonna come out swinging. She's gonna start like, you know, she's
Yeah, that
gonna
was my-
pick apart Macaulay Culkin. She's gonna pick out everything about this movie. She's gonna be problematic, I think.
No, but I did watch a couple of documentaries about this movie too, and I'm
Of course
just like,
you did.
yeah,
At 2 times speed.
no. But I do have a lot to say because like watching this over again because my husband Antoine, he's French. It's not like he probably never saw these movies before in his life, but he probably hasn't watched them because they're more of like American staples, right? So I was like, have you ever seen Home Alone? And then we ended up watching like all 3 of them, and then he thought that they were funny, but watching them in my now age, I'm just like, yo, some of this shit's kind of fucked. So I'm like thinking about it and going through it, and that's why I have so much to say because I'm just like, what's happening here?
Oh boy.
But you'll see it. You'll see in a second what I mean. But last thing of why we picked this is John Hughes. Okay, like he has made all of the wonderful 80s movies, like the most iconic ones ever. So he did direct this movie, which is amazing. It's shocking, and I think if you hear the music too, because it's very John Hughesy too, is perfect.
All those
I didn't
iconic.
realize this was by John Hughes.
Yeah, I was
Me
going to
neither.
say all those iconic movies that I haven't watched by John Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see why this Home Alone movie spawned, the sequels, So it's
Do
very
you think every like decade has like the it director for like a decade? Like Hughes is for 80s, maybe Spielberg is for 90s.
Spielberg was like 80s too.
Was he really?
Yeah. I feel like Tarantino was 90s.
Oh, but I don't think everyone liked all the Tarantino films.
We've got a lot to say about Tarantino.
See, I like how this is a Christmas movie and somehow
We name drop him all the time.
Mhm.
This bitch. But yeah, John Hughes has since passed away. It's so sad. But, all these movies kind of keep his legacy, his touch. So wonderful. It's very Christmassy. I think you guys will like it. And now that we know we have two losers in the midst, surprise.
Oh, are you adding yourself to that?
I think I should. I mean, I have seen this movie, but I don't think when you watch things at like 8 or 9 and when other
That's
kids
fair.
are involved in like the same room and it's more like a daycare thing, I don't think I've like ever sat down and been like, wow, popcorn and all. You
Yeah.
sort of like paid attention to the movie. It was honestly just noise to keep people from like,
Killing each other?
yeah, going crazy,
Oh, so you're usurping.
It was
the
more
spotlight
subjugation
from me.
technique. No, you can keep it. You're definitely a loser.
So you
But I will say that I don't think I have watched this movie in its entirety. I mean, I know the basics of the movie.
Okay, but you would say confidently that you don't know
Remember anything that
about the
happens
plot line.
specifically.
Okay.
Interesting.
Because I know that obviously they made 4 of them. Are they all Macaulay Culkin?
No.
No. Okay,
Huh.
see, that's
Just the first two.
because those were the 2 that I knew about too.
All right, let me
Ketzel?
let me tell you what I know about this movie. I'll go first before I guess Antonio goes because I guess he doesn't remember much. All I know is that Macaulay Culkin's a little boy, and and that he is left home alone.
We
Which
said it. We can stop now.
which questionable because he seems rather young to be left home alone. I don't know if he's left with a babysitter or whatever. And some people come to burgle the house, and he fucking just makes like a good old saw trap for them in the house.
How eloquent of you.
That is pretty much all
I
I
love
know
that.
about it as well. I mean, I kind of understand why he gets left behind, but also like,
I don't.
you'll see. So he's it.
I don't even think you know, dude. So don't even try. Don't even go
So
there.
quit playing.
But like, I kind of remember the scene. I don't know if it's this one or the second one. Is it an airport?
Yes.
Okay, for this one, it's the airport.
Yes.
Okay. I want to say
Sure.
he suffers from like middle child syndrome,
Same.
like he's invisible,
Sure.
Sure.
and that's about it. I mean, the rest of it I know, and I kind of know like the whole like the gimmick of the bandits. I think it's this movie where it's like the water stealing bandits or whatever, and they like leave all the faucets on. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds. You're touching on some things.
Okay.
You're definitely touching
some
things.
Touching things. Touching you.
Antonio touches things.
But that's good. That means you guys don't really know a lot. I think you'll have a lot of that filled in, but it seems like you guys got some of the premise there.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the water thing and an airport, and I think it's middle child syndrome, and that's why they forget him.
Okay.
All right. So I guess
Actors.
we can briefly go to actors and then score. I don't know how we do this anymore.
No, Rotten Tomatoes and then list of whatever we want to do.
So, Rotten Tomatoes gave this a 67%. Audiences gave it an 80%, and Google users gave it a 93%.
That is a big difference between Rotten Tomatoes and the rest of them. That's interesting.
Yes, there's
Right?
a very big jump.
Mm-hmm.
So I
This is
guess
like-
it's more beloved emotionally, nostalgia, and all that.
Yeah, I would say so.
Agree.
There are lots of things like that.
But yeah, you'll see like that there's some very interesting people that you wouldn't think were in this movie but are. I don't know if you want to list the actors.
Yeah. I mean, we all know Macaulay Culkin's in it. Catherine O'Hara, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, and John Hurd.
So I scrolled down to like right now to see the actor list. I had no idea Catherine O'Hara was in this, and my eyebrows went up because I love me some Catherine O'Hara.
I know.
I'm so shook.
And I feel like she's not gotten more popular recently, but definitely
she has.
Sh-
Schitt's
uh,
Creek.
Yes,
Schitt's
she
Creek.
has for Schitt's Creek.
Yeah. And I've loved her for so long, and I'm so glad she's getting more
hers is.
recognition. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It's, oh my God. I think there's one scene with Catherine O'Hara that you're going to see, and then you're going to be like, maybe that'll jostle a memory for you. Because this is very, like, this is very Home Alone. But yeah, Catherine O'Hara, very fun. Joe Pesci, like, you would think, as you see him in the movie, that he was not built for this role, but wow. And then Daniel Stern is the Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern are the
Burglars.
The burglars.
and
burgle.
you'll see their like development together as actors in this movie, and I think that they really bring a lot to the table. I forget, somebody was supposed to be in Daniel Stern's place, and when we come back I'll figure out who that is, and then we'll talk about it, because like I think in that documentary I saw, like, it was very like, this person.
Interesting.
But
Well,
yeah, you ready?
I am. I'm excited to see what, like you said, maybe like kickstarts a memory, or like perhaps that I'm like, oh, that's where this is from. So I'm ready for that Christmas spirit.
Any other last comments? Just ready for you just ready for it?
Jingle, baby. Jingle for us.
I guess we're going. Let's go.
We'll be back.
See you in a bit.
I hate it here.
All right. And we're back.
Yes, we're back. Okay, so that was a very crazy movie,
That was
but I
crazy.
feel like, I don't know. What are your initial thoughts about it?
I love Christmas.
Love Christmas. I think
Love Christmas. Love Christmas.
I think this movie is like exactly what every Christmas movie does, and it kind of polarizes. Christmas movie. This Christmas movie is polarizing. One of us is asleep on the couch, you know, just out, like post meal, like just like nap time, and then everyone else is like Christmas.
It is. I feel like, well, I think most Christmas movies, unless they're like
Any holiday
the
movie,
Grinch.
really.
The Grinch. There we go. Will be polarizing.
Really?
Grinch
'Cause
is
I think
universally
I'm sure there are
beloved.
people who don't like the Grinch. I'm almost positive.
Well,
about it.
they're not any person I would like to
They're
be
not a
hanging out
friend
with.
of mine.
No, you're no
friend of
mine.
ours. You don't like the Grinch, we can't hang. Your vibes are off.
Your vibes
Your
are
frequency's
off.
yeah. Your frequency's not vibrating at my frequency, so
You are the dark matter.
I love Christmas. That's as deep as I'll go. Before I feel like anything else I'll say I'll save for the end.
Yeah, and Tony, if you want to go, and then I would just like to start it off with a fun fact that I found.
As for like how it went, honestly, I'm rewatching this. It's just unlocked memories after unlocked memories after unlocked memories. I was like, oh yeah, I've definitely seen this part. Oh, I've definitely seen this part. I think, like, I was definitely in a room while this was playing.
You were in the room where it was happening.
I love that for you.
I had this thought. I didn't have any unlocked memories during this, which I think confirms I didn't watch it.
Incredible.
'Cause incredible.
That's what that means?
That's either that or I
You
blocked
didn't.
it.
So
you didn't
you're saying it
not
wasn't
enough
like
experience points to unlock this experience.
it wasn't like Austin Powers for you, which did unlock a bunch of
Yeah,
memories.
whereas I was like, oh shit, that's where that's from? Oh shit, I remember this. No, nothing about this. I mean, I knew the iconic him putting his face and going, ah! Like, I knew that. That's it. That's the only visual I knew.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I think the Netflix documentary that I'd seen was called The Movies That Made Us, and Home Alone was one of them. And then, you know, I think that I looked at this up on cinemablend.com, so shout out to them. And it just reminded me of that documentary because that they said this in it, that Warner Brothers, they initially started the production on this movie, which was very exciting. But like halfway through, they stopped everything. They like shut down because of budgeting. So this movie was almost not made. And that was really crazy because, you know, it's been so successful. It's like iconic now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's one of the Christmas movies.
And like maybe like halfway through that, the producers were getting kind of like, this is a little sketch. So they started talking to other like, you know, film studios, and 20th Century Fox, who produced this, like they totally backed everything and they completed the movie. And honestly, I'm like, what a missed opportunity for Warner Brothers. Y'all fucked up.
Well, 20th Century Fox like drove a lot of movies through like the 90s and early 2000s.
But they really got the success of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. But yeah, it was almost not made, which is so crazy, right?
Yeah, my God, look at you guys sounding like serious film podcasters, talking about production teams.
Well, I watch a lot of weird stuff. Anyway, we can just go bit by bit now for all the exciting parts.
Yee. So it begins with Harry Potter music, because the moment that played, I was like, it's John Williams, which makes sense. But all the music, I know we'll get into it later, but it was nice. It was magical. It reminded me of the Harry Potter like Christmas songs that plays whenever they go to
Right.
like
Mm-hmm.
the great banquet.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that one.
It was so
I love
good.
John Williams.
Wonderful, wonderful opening.
WB got us on that one.
They might.
Oop.
They'll come for us.
But yeah, the movie starts out just as Ketzel noted, and like we're kind of flung into the movie very crazily. The family is like, I don't know, there's so many people, I don't even know. I think she said it was like 15 people in the house running around. They're all going to Paris for the holidays because one of the parents, their brother, he's like living over there, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna bring you guys all over here for Christmas.
Hey.
Yay. And I'm just like, what job do you have? Because like, who could afford that? But everybody's
Right.
going.
Mm-hmm. All 15.
Woof.
Yeah. What I'm curious because you just really get a sense of the family and the chaos, and then Kevin, who is Macaulay Culkin, this little character boy, he is interacting and being a kid. And I'm curious because you guys have differing opinions about kids and kid actors. I thought I was going to be very annoyed by him. And he is kind of a little shit. But damn, they didn't have to treat him like that, though. They didn't have to do all that to him, though.
I
They gotta do him
wholeheartedly
like that.
agree with you that he was totally a little shit, but he was treated really, really terribly. Like, I don't know how you guys
Yeah.
feel.
I think Antonio kind of nailed it with the whole middle child thing.
Syndrome.
Even though he wasn't.
I think
the
he was
middle
the
child.
He was the
youngest.
youngest, and I was like, "Oh, okay, he's not a
So,
middle child." I half
That's
expected,
not right, but
like-
the vibes are right.
That ain't right.
Yeah, I half expected this movie like there was gonna at least be like a baby in a crib or like in a like
Baby in a crib?
carrier.
Really?
Yeah, like someone would be really occupied with a baby, and that's why he was the middle child. But he was technically the baby, so but he had
was.
like middle child syndrome written all over him.
It was very that. You absolutely did not act like the baby. Because the baby of the family is baby. They get all the attention. So
It's sad.
yeah.
But
Yeah. I also was amused by him as an actor and as a little child. I'm generally, since becoming a teacher, I'm generally amused by children actors. I'm like, look at your talent. Look how funny you are.
Look how funny you are! I've
I
met real
appreciate
children;
it.
they're annoying.
Real children are funny too, but I'm like, look at you, you're acting. That's what adults do. So I'm very amused by them.
good for you, Macaulay Culkin.
Good for you. He
Good
was so
for you,
good.
40-year-old Macaulay Culkin. You did amazing.
I
You
mean,
did
this
great,
movie
buddy.
was like made for him. I think like John Hughes, he was like, I gotta make this. I gotta make this for you. So he did. And that's how this movie kind of came about, which is really cool. But yeah, like we were just saying how terribly he's treated, and we can see that happening because everybody gets pizza. It's great. They're like, he's like, where's my cheese pizza? And everybody's like, we ate it. And then he's like, that's fucked up. So then he pushes his brother, who is like,
He said, fucked up son.
yeah, I'll throw this up and you can have it. And then he pushes him
just like,
and just
Also, that was my favorite character. Going back to bully names, Buzz. Definitely a bully name. Buzz is my favorite character. Everything he said was gold, 10 cents across the board. I love Buzz.
I hated him.
Interesting.
Oh, I thought he was kind of funny during that one scene.
He
when they
was
were in
so
Paris.
funny.
He was like, one, I'm not that lucky.
Yeah, he was funny.
Way to make it about you, buddy.
I love Buzz.
He has
Anyway.
main character energy.
He truly does.
He kind of does, yeah.
But after this
guy.
this fucked up ass moment, everybody like looks at Kevin. They're like, you little shit. And then the uncle, like, this man, I think he's like 50 probably, and he's just like, look what you did, you little jerk. And I'm just like, you say that to an 8-year-old?
Right?
He's 8. He's 8.
And he's
a
the
second
baby.
grader. And he's a baby. And they call him a disease. Like, this shit was really fucked up. This shit was really fucked up.
The bullying was just like next level.
Off the chart. I think it's because we grew up very much in an era where it was like anti-bullying. That I'm like, wow, this is fucked up.
I mean,
The 90s was like rampant. It came out in 1990. Bullies were like rampant. Like that was like normal.
Bullies were out in the streets. running this
they
town.
actually took kids' lunch money back then.
Truly. Unchecked by the law.
It was terrible. So of course he gets in trouble and he gets banished to the attic by his mom, and everybody's like, heh heh. And then he's like, y'all, I wish you guys were fucking gone. Like, I
Dead.
hate you. I wish that I didn't even have a family. Fuck all y'all. And she's like, the mom, who's Catherine O'Hara, she's like, you don't mean that. And then he's like, I fucking do. And
Bitch, did I stutter?
Exact quote.
it was so sad. And you can see, like, genuinely, I'm just saying, like, Catherine O'Hara was, like, such a standout for her little
Oh my god.
time on screen.
Ugh, no, we got to give that like a whole portion.
We will.
We will.
But, like,
Why can't we do that now?
Yeah, we're
She's beautiful.
yeah, just
Why
say-
can't we do
say
this
what you mean.
now?
Ugh.
do it now. Do it now.
She was amazing
She's-
this entire movie then.
Ugh.
Every single
Fucking
scene she
gorgeous.
was in.
Yes, very gorgeous. Like, her acting skills impeccable. I almost cried because she really broke my heart. I was like, oh, she's like,
You did tear up.
yeah, she's like, from a
Why
mother
lie?
to a mother, and I was like, huh. She just wants to go save her kid.
Later on when she's trying to get him back, I saw Dahlia
So
get
sad.
emo.
Mhm.
Chanel.
We will talk about her more, but yeah, so everybody goes to bed, whatever, and the power line gets struck by, I don't know, a storm, so the power goes out. Their alarm clocks go off. This is the 90s. There's no cell phones.
Oh, I was out getting Popeyes at that time.
Yeah.
I just saw
Yeah.
I just saw the mad rush, and then
And then one of the things that had happened just before like the power struck and before he was sent up to his room, milk or soda was spilt all over the table where the passports and tickets were, which is one of the reasons. It was one of the things that contributed to him getting left behind. His stuff was tossed in the trash by accident.
which is so fucked up because they're treating him like trash. The cinematic parallels.
Whoa, I think you just found something that I didn't know. Whoa.
Look at
That's
that.
fucking-
There's that deep critical analysis.
Ugh. But the power goes out, everybody oversleeps. The people who are supposed to transport them to the airport are here, and they're like, fucking wake up, y'all. And then they're like, ah. So everybody's scrambling, getting their shit together. Kevin again has been...
Much like Antonio, they didn't wake up.
Speaking
you're,
of alarms.
You're Kevin.
I am Kevin. Honestly, Kevin didn't even have an alarm though, so he might have woken up had he had an alarm up there.
I mean, he was banished to the attic for the evening alone, and like... It's just crazy. Anyway, like, he totally does not hear any of this rush at all. Everybody's scrambling. The nosy neighbor kid next door is peeping through every single item in the luggage that they have carried, and he's there lined up with the kids who are near the vehicle that they're leaving in. And he accidentally gets counted as Kevin, which is why they think they have Kevin with them. And obviously they don't have his like passports and shit, so they didn't like, catch that either. But that is why Kevin gets left behind, is like all this chaos. And the neighbor kid just fucking, I hate that
counter, kid. The ticket and passport's gone. Everything seems right, just a little bit fits right, but something's off.
We can cut this out, but do you guys have any family stories of this happening? Because I have some extended cousins who they're like a family of 12, and from what I remember, at least 3 times they would forget somebody.
Nope. Can't say that I have, friend.
Oh. Okay.
Do you want to share a little story?
No, that's it. I was just like, we can cut this out. I won't call them out.
Ooh.
But I don't care about. No, they just kept like, when they'd go on beach trips, and then they're like packing shit away, because there's so many of them.
12 is a lot.
That's too many.
A lot. 5 was a lot.
Yeah, they formed a banda. I'll send you pictures later. Because there were so many kids. Yeah, because there were so many kids, and they're like, let's make a band with all the children. Right. Not successful or good, though, so.
That's definitely getting cut out. Okay.
No, leave it in.
Do they all play the kazoo?
Man, I could have been fucking part of that shit, but no.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Everybody gets on the plane and they leave. So everybody's just fine. Kevin finally wakes up after everybody left, and he wanders the house, and he's just like, they left? And then he's like, I wished my family away, and now they're gone. And then he says it again, but he says it more happy, and I'm just like, you little shit. But
definitely villain energy.
Totally, like, he's a little shit.
Yeah.
But like, what are the jobs of these parents? This is like one of my first complaints of this. Like, what fucking jobs do they have to be having a house this big? Not only was Kevin banished to the attic, he also has a basement, like two-car garage, and like, there's probably
That's
like
a
5
McMansion.
bedrooms. Yeah, it is literally a mansion.
Honestly, but where do they live? Milwaukee?
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
In the suburbs.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the like.
They're rich whites,
It
baby.
sounds
They're fucking
expensive.
I don't know why I latched onto the Milwaukee reference later on. I was like, oh, they're from Milwaukee. No, that's
Because
where
the polka band.
the polka band was going to Milwaukee. I was like, I'm pretty sure, like, buying a house there does not translate.
The Midwest is the Midwest.
But Chicago's Chicago.
Chicago.
Please don't come after us.
Chicago, please. I'm sorry. I like you.
But I mean,
I've never
been
to you, but I like you.
I've never been. I know you guys have the bean.
I just want to know,
That
like,
is right,
they have 5 children in the family, 2 parents, but like, I just don't know how they afforded all of that.
I don't know. They must be fucking lawyers or something.
It didn't seem
They
like they
look
were
like they would-
lawyers to me.
Catherine O'Hara looks like she could be a lawyer.
Oh, Catherine O'Hara could have been the lawyer out of all of them. She might have done something or another.
I'm not
She seemed like
convinced.
she could be a lawyer.
She was definitely dressing to impress throughout the entire movie.
She's gorgeous. Also, if you were at Kevin's age, what would be the first thing you guys do? Like, think back to your childhood homes. What would be the first thing you'd do left alone after you stop crying?
Cry.
I would continue.
Cry more.
I would continue to cower and find.
That's where all my
hiding
tears
hole.
went, probably. Crying.
Okay, let's pretend for a second we were not immediately upset about it, because we all would be crying.
Okay, but also, were you guys
can't
latchkey kids? Like, being left alone to wait until your parents come home and you just take care of yourself? Because that was me. So that's what I did.
After at a certain point, but I think that didn't happen until like middle school.
Yeah.
That was me since I was like 8. So.
Not
at 8.
Yeah.
I think I had 4 extra years of like, Velcro child. Dumb. And then after that, it was free range, and I have scars all over myself to prove it.
Yikes.
Yes, I was left alone to my own devices. I actually had this question for you guys later, because eventually he's like doing stuff on his own. But like, yeah, I was alone a lot as a kid, and I don't know. I learned to do shit on my own, kind of like Kevin.
I think I picked up really quickly once I was starting to be alone, but I don't think at Kevin's age I was alone.
Do you think you would have been able to handle it at 8 years old?
At 8 years old, okay, the reason why was I was in daycare. So, like, if I was not with my parents, or with my mom.
You were watching Austin Powers at daycare.
Yes, exactly. Forming whatever other, like, really terrible things. The daycare I went to is officially gone, like closed.
What'd you do to it?
I didn't do anything. I don't know. Maybe someone found out they were showing Austin Powers.
Shut this place
Shut him down.
OSHA's here.
But I mean, I guess, would you feel confident to take care of yourself is the big question.
I
At 8?
barely feel confident now as an adult to take care of myself.
Absolutely.
So it's a no?
That's a no for me.
I mean, I think you guys are very competent. You got a house, guy. You have a house, Dahlia.
I don't know how that happened.
I mean, I still cower
I'm
in
barely
fear.
competent.
That's why I like when you guys tell me when you're coming over, because then I'm like, it's not a stranger. It's fine. It's fine. My paranoia goes away.
It's family.
I mean, literally, it's Aw.
Aw.
Literally right now, right before y'all called, I was heating up water for my tea, and I was sitting here editing an episode, and I could hear the shrilliness of the tea kettle, and I legit thought it was a car with brakes outside, and it went off for a long time. I just left it on the oven. So I can't take care of myself. I can't imagine me at 8. I was a shithead.
Oh, man.
I think I would have been okay. I think, it's not really a struggle meal. Actually, that was actually the meme that I saw. Did anyone ever make, like, toast with, like, butter, sugar, and cinnamon?
No.
You did not?
That sounds
Oh, my
gross.
God. That would have been what I
It's
would have been eating the
fucking good.
entire day if I was left by myself.
Me too.
The struggle meal was tortilla smeared with some beans that were left over in the fridge.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that doesn't translate well to those of us who aren't Latinx. So
Yeah, fair.
ours would have been toast, butter, sugar, cinnamon. And in fact, I had sent that meme to my family about it. And that probably, at 8, I probably would have been eating that the whole day
And
and
then
watching
thrown
whatever.
up the whole night.
Maybe that
Oh,
too.
man.
Maybe that, maybe
all
that.
day.
Let me see if I have
There
this
was like a struggle meal that someone told me about that I just had, like a peanut butter and marshmallow fluff sandwich.
No,
I've never. Marshmallow
never
fluff
even
was
had
not
fluff.
very popular in my household.
not
I
until
mean,
I was in
I'm-
high school.
I didn't have that till a couple months ago, but that's also because we didn't have fucking marshmallow fluff lying around.
I think that's
I'm
a
not
very
white.
specific, like, regional thing. Maybe. I don't know.
Is it good?
Yeah.
It's fucking
Fluff
delicious.
is good.
Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, I would
Next time
recommend
we get together, we'll have a fancy dinner party, and I'll cut those up, baby.
it. That struggle meal looks not cute for me.
I'll make them into cute little shapes for you,
on
baby.
the on the nice
You gonna
china.
cut the crust off?
Get the china out, Sky.
Oh, God.
I'm taking up the crust.
It's
of
the
this.
J.
It's the Hercules plates.
Oh, thank you
The
for
fine
buying
china.
me.
Those are collectibles.
That's your china.
I love
Oh my
it.
god. Take out the fine china. Your fucking Hercules plates and your sippy cups.
And while you're taking your sippy cups out of the china cabinet, there's burglars looking around the outside of your
Literally,
home.
my worst nightmare
That is-
as a child.
It was so scary. At one
That's
point,
my worst fear as an adult. Home
at one point,
invasion.
Yeah,
you
no,
hear
same,
him
same.
jingle the doorknob, and I'm like, ooh, like I'm good. But like,
I
yeah,
hear a door open in any capacity, and I'm like, ugh.
that's why I like being here in the quiet sometimes because I recognize the creaks of my house. So I'm just like, that's normal. It's fine. I think I have
the
anxiety.
creaks of my house scared me. Yeah, I think we do.
Oh,
I hated even the creaks of my house. That's why I like living in the city now, because the silence of the suburbs when I am afraid of home invasions is not the thesis.
it totally is not. And like, you know, at this time in the 90s, they had their little automatic lights and stuff and locks on the doors. And I'm like, what? Like, you can't just rely on locks on the doors now. Like, I can't imagine us being in the 1990 and us doing the same thing we're doing now. No, absolutely not. It would give me less security. Sorry to like
Yeah, I mean, look at us now.
tie it back.
No, look at us now. We have
My
fucking
Ring
rings and
doorbell.
cameras. Yeah.
And no one comes over unannounced. You know, if there's a knock at the door and I don't know who you are,
I'm dead.
Suspicious. But to talk about the burglars for a second, Other fun facts also taken from Cinema Blend. The role of Harry is Joe Pesci, right? So the role was offered to many, many people before him, and I will tell you who they are. Danny DeVito is the first one. I know.
Oh.
Daniel, he would have been perfect for it.
Danny DeVito was offered. He turned it down. Bob Hoskins, very, very familiar. I feel like I don't want to get it wrong, but of the same type. And then Kurt Russell also.
Oh, that would have been a really interesting, like.
Tommy Lee Jones, which would have been really weird.
I don't know about that one.
And even musician Phil Collins.
Not Phil Collins.
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins.
Not Philip.
What does Phil Collins look like?
He looks like Lily Collins' dad.
Wow.
Shut up, Dahlia. No, he's bald, right?
Yes.
He's white, has glasses.
Yes.
He's not Moby, who also is white, bald, and has glasses.
No. He has a more friendly face.
Think older. He looks so much more like a person than Moby
Phil
does.
Collins?
Well,
Yeah,
I
look
want to,
him up.
because here's what.
But him-
whenever I think the name Phil Collins, for some reason, of like, I want to say like a straight version of like Elton John comes to mind.
Absolutely not.
I don't
That
know
is
why.
not right.
I absolutely do not understand why.
I mean, he's got the pizzazz of a straight person of Elton John. Wait, a straight version.
A straight person of Elton John.
I mean, he was the lead
A
singer of Genesis.
straight person
so
of Elton John.
Love Phil Collins. But Robert De Niro also was offered this role, but he turned it down. And then that's when it went to Joe Pesci, which is so wild.
I mean, he was great.
Oh, yeah, he totally
The
was.
Burglars were amazing.
Oh, they were fantastic.
The other guy, Marv, I cannot imagine it being anybody else, but this man who ended up playing Marv, he was offered the role at first, and then he said that he was doing 8 weeks of work, but he was only getting paid for 6 weeks of work, and he's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. So he left, and then they put some other guy in, and his name was Daniel Roebuck, and I was trying to look up some things that you might know him from. I don't know like any of these movies except for, weirdly, very, very like deep cut, the dad from Quince.
Quince?
Yep. It was a Disney Channel movie.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very bizarre, but I'm like, okay. But apparently the chemistry between them was not good. So they were like, would you come back? And then he's like, yeah. So
You gonna pay me?
he ended up playing the role, I think, for the less money, which was a bummer. But honestly, like, he's just too good. Their chemistry is so good.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, they're great. That was literally my chemistry, me being Marv, that was his name?
Yeah.
Marv is the tall one.
Yeah, that's my energy with either Sky or Antonio. That was all of that. I loved them. They were fabulous.
They're so good. But they kept getting pushed away by Kevin, who kept doing all these like clever things to keep the burglars at bay. And honestly, I don't think I could have come up with that shit on my own, TBH.
Oh yeah, the first
Or
one.
put it together.
Nope.
I'm not strong enough. I'm like a twig.
You know, the cardboard cutouts and like the moving the mannequins. Like, we don't even have mannequins in the house to be able to do that.
Yeah, they were in the basement.
not
Wasn't
smart.
that weird to just have mannequins in the basement?
Yeah.
You know what?
How to have
Yeah.
that kind of. Well, you know what? Speaking of mannequins in the basement, when he goes into the master bedroom, Mom has like a legit like sewing table set up. Maybe she's a fashion designer.
She could be.
How did you pay attention to that, but didn't pay attention
To what day?
to the light falling down the drain in Saw, which was
When I was-
all on screen
When I was paying attention
for
to
seconds
like,
and seconds.
because it's so quick that there's no like
Get him! Get him!
you know context clues or whatnot. You know, it's like this is. I'm
I
going
didn't
into
even
this blind.
see a sewing machine, Antonio.
Yeah, no one else saw that, dude.
It was exactly like the one they use in Animal Crossing items.
You know,
Aw.
I think I'm gonna tap out of this episode and go home.
Send me
Bye.
home.
Oh Lord.
What were we talking about?
That was a very
I also-
specific thing for me to latch onto. I know. I'm sorry.
You're not
Very
sorry.
specific.
Don't be sorry. That's funny. I love that about
No,
you.
he should be sorry, but he's not sorry.
I made a note here that I kept thinking that Macaulay Culkin was a human manifestation of Chester.
Oh my god! Macaulay Culkin at 8
Thoughts?
years old, frozen, is Chester.
Thoughts, comments, concerns?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Except
just, yeah.
in not complete sentences. He cannot speak in complete sentences. Then yes,
Like
it's
that little
Chester.
smirk he does where he's like,
That is my cat.
I wish my family away.
I wish they'd all disappear.
That's Chester right now because he's home alone.
He is home alone right now, defending the house from burglars.
truly.
The dogs, you know, they're
Truly.
good for the sound and the noise.
He would not defend the house from burglars. They'd come in and he'd be like, belly rub? You rub my belly?
Hold me?
When?
Hi there.
You rub my belly, perhaps?
Oh man.
Anyway, that's it.
No, it was,
That's great.
Really,
That's like right on the money.
I love that.
That's something I didn't even think about.
What?
I literally was thinking that when he was talking and his little face. I'm like, that's Chester.
I don't know
That's my boy.
about you guys, but like something that popped out for me was that that movie he kept playing to
Oh, yeah.
deter people, like the Pizza
Oh,
Boy
yeah.
and the burglars. Another fun fact, also from Cinema Blend, is that like that movie is not even a real movie. They created that
I was
fake
wondering
movie
that.
Yeah.
and put it in the show.
That seemed very specific, and I was like, well, you know, if there's then I'm sure there probably was a movie that could have worked for this.
Yeah, I think it was inspired by an older movie, but this is a fake movie put into this movie. And I mean, can it get more iconic? It's like, keep the change, you filthy animal. Like, nobody's ever going to forget that. Nobody. Oh, sorry. It's Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
No, it's
No,
So you forgot.
No, well, no. The movie is Keep the Change, you filthy animal. He uses that for the pizza delivery boy, but he uses the line himself when he says "Merry Christmas, you filthy animals,"
Yep.
which is like one of your favorite lines that you use.
I've seen that on many a Christmas sweater.
yeah.
So it has made its round mainstream. But, I mean, not even this is enough to deter those burglars. They know what's happening. They know that Kevin is home alone. Haha, there it is. And once he, like, figures out that they know that he's home alone, he's like, time to make my Saw-themed battleground. And I wrote down every single, like, shit that happened.
Saw trap?
Yes, I did.
You're rate the trap you want to go about as.
I wrote them all if you want to hear them.
I do because I was asleep.
Okay.
Yeah. This is just like the Saw episode where literally Sky listed all the traps and we're like, which
Is this
one?
your Saw episode?
Is this my Saw? It could be.
This is your Saw.
Okay. So, like, he's preparing for all this shit, and I'm gonna go, like, from A to Z, from how it until they get caught. The first one, BB gun to the crotch. BB gun to the forehead. Slip backwards on the stairs. Slip down the stairs with frozen water. Iron to the forehead. Burn your hand on a doorknob. The sticky tar and a nail in your foot. Burn your scalp. Ugh. Glued and feathered. Stepping on glass ornaments. Slipping on toy cars. The paint can to the face. Tripping over the bungee wire. A tarantula to the face, and then getting cut down from a zip line.
I'll take the feathers and the glue. Thank you. Bye.
I'll take
For-
the BB
for
gun to the
500.
forehead, and that's it. Then you just close your eyes. Okay, hit me in the forehead. Move on.
This is fuck Jigsaw the movie. This is truly the Jigsaw origin story. This is Jigsaw doing his first fucking round. I don't know. I think I'll take the chicken feathers too, baby.
Oh, but that's
Cause-
least damage, TBH.
That's the
Yeah.
least damage.
There's
'Cause,
no
like-
pain involved with that.
There's no pain. You just
He
look
didn't use
funny.
like glue or adhesive.
He did use glue.
I don't want to get that on me.
Oh, that would suck. But I also don't want to be hurt. I don't want a concussion.
A
So
BB
I'll take
gun
that
pellet
anyway.
to the forehead is not going to cause a concussion.
I don't know if that was like. I feel like that was very low key for something that I feel like would really, really fucking hurt you.
I feel like that would really hurt.
You-
Hey,
I've
wait,
been shot
real
with
quick.
a BB gun before. You'll
Antonio.
live.
I think that your pain threshold is perhaps a little higher than mine.
Oh,
Hey, by the way, what does it feel like to get like hit in the balls?
A really dull ache, and that like makes you just keel over.
Dull.
Like it's not like
Dull?
sharp. Like if someone like slaps you, it's kind of like a sharp pain because it lasts.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a long time. It's not like I actively go around looking to get hit in the balls or anything like that.
I think as soon as a man hears, I'm
Hold
gonna
on.
hit you in the balls, like he has a reaction that is exactly
why I'm
like
so
you're gonna get hit in the
curious.
balls.
I could
Do
not
I need
tell
to kick you in the balls?
Do it.
I couldn't tell you the last time that I was injured in any capacity in that area.
In that area. Well, I guess that's
My life is all about paper cuts nowadays. Paper cuts and the occasional nick with a knife.
the only times I feel like we've had like that phantom pain has been like with nipple stuff, where it's like getting like
We're not getting into the
hurt
nipple
there.
stuff.
That's the only kind of phantom pain I can imagine. But otherwise, I don't know what getting kicked in the balls is comparable to. But it always looks so fucking painful. But I don't know if it's comparable to any other pain. I was just curious.
I don't think I've ever had such a traumatic experience.
I
over
mean,
it.
the balls seem
Personally.
very, very tender. I feel like if you hit them with very
Tendy?
with blunt force, I feel like that wouldn't be good. I feel like the balls have a lot of nerves, don't they?
They're literally just a whole bundle of nerves.
You tickle them, you laugh. If you hit them, you cry.
We're
I
not going that
assume
deep
they're-
into this one.
Okay, thank you.
Moving on.
Wait, which one would you do, Dahlia?
I don't want to get hurt, so I would do like the glue and the feathers. Like if I had to pick like a stunt where I was gonna get hurt, I don't like the idea of the cars, but I feel like slipping backwards or down the
that's why I
stairs.
wouldn't choose that. Like it's BB gun to the forehead. It's like
BB gun to the forehead sounds bad.
Okay,
It's
say
too close
BB
my
gun to the
eye.
forehead one more time.
BB gun to the forehead.
Great. Moving on.
Title of this episode. They were fucking brutal. Like I didn't expect like the nail, like stepping on the nail. That was brutal.
Okay, no, it was.
I had
It
to
was
turn
actually
away.
very tame because it's not like you saw him like step fully on it. He like poked himself and then
It
It
was
Curled
didn't.
himself
It
slow.
did
backward.
not go through the foot, but
it
it
didn't
was
go
very
through the
slow.
through the foot at all. Like he like stepped on it.
Rewind
like,
the tapes. It was slow. It was like lingered on the foot,
It's
starting to
squelched.
go
No,
down,
it wasn't.
and then he went back.
No, for comedic effect, he paused when he like was about to step on it.
No. He had it was like a little bit of it went into his foot, and then he
Yeah,
keeled
it
over
did.
backwards.
Yeah.
but it
But
went.
he-
into
it wasn't
his
like
foot.
slow-mo
It
or
went
anything.
into his foot.
It didn't go through his foot like
No,
A
not
Quiet
through.
Place.
This isn't a fucking quiet place.
Yeah.
It's fucking Home Alone.
I know, but I was like, it wasn't comparatively. It wasn't anything like that. It was not that brutal. Honestly, the more
No,
concerning
but I
thing
mean
was
for a
the
kid's
look of
movie.
the gun. The gun was
For
very
a kids movie, there's a lot of brutal aspects to this.
It was a fucking lot.
I
But
mean, we could go back to where there's the shoveling guy at the very beginning, where they talk about how he's
a murderer.
a murderer, a family killer.
And
Right.
it turns
That
out
was
also
not
kinda
to be.
scary.
He turns out to be a
Yeah.
nice little guardian angel for Kevin while his mom is trying to find a way back home. I feel like his parents didn't give a flying fuck about him except for the mom. She was like, "Get me on the next fucking plane," and she did every single thing possible to get to the house, and everybody else was like, "Who cares? It's Kevin." And that was kind of
Kevin, he'll be
fucked
alive.
because over what was it, like the course of maybe like 4 days or something that he was home alone.
It was 2 days, wasn't it? Because it's like the next flight will be in 2 days. I don't know. I gotta.
There was a lot of time. I feel like, yeah, maybe 2, maybe 3 days between that. And like, he was dealing with all this shit, the loneliness, the independence, the burglaries,
The
the
5
hatching
stages of grief.
schemes.
5 stages of grief in 3 days.
And the only person who like was even able to give a fuck was the scary neighbor he thought was a murderer.
No, that actually a lot of them were concerned. I think the old lady who was in the store didn't care, but the cashier at the grocery store, she's like, "Where's your mom? In the car. Where's your dad? At work. What's your address? Can't tell you." She was like ready to. She was about to pounce on him, and be like, She was ready.
I was gonna call the cops.
It's just so funny how all these other people are concerned, but not his parents.
Well, his mom was very
Well, his mom was
concerned,
concerned.
His mom. His
And-
dad, fine.
and you were kind of occupied during the beginning. Like, honestly, all that flurry of stuff happening, They were just rushing through, which I think they breezed over like airport security. I think at some point during that, you definitely would have noticed you were missing one of your children.
Maybe it was 1990, so they didn't have to like. TSA
Yeah, I was
was
like,
not
this
as
was
rough.
before.
Oh, so they probably breezed through.
TSA got really
Yeah.
rough after 9/11, so that was like 10 years later.
That's why all the rom-coms you could just in all the rom-coms you see all these airport scenes where they can just run on through to the gate.
Steve, don't get on the plane, and then you're there. And
Relax.
who can do that? No, you can't do that. You have
You
to have a
can't
boarding
even-
pass.
You can't even go shopping.
Yeah. So you can't take a bottle of water past TSA.
You cannot. But
But you can take pepper spray if it's a fluke.
I mean, where just the complete also disregard of just leaving a child behind was super crazy. But I don't know. I feel like there was not enough. I think it was all about Kevin just trying to make sure the burglars didn't get away with it rather than like a family like tied movie. I feel like I told you guys right at the end like what happens. Like the mom does make it, well, I guess let's not breeze over the fact that all of these horrible stunts that I had listed out, they'd get caught by the cops. So the bad guys do get caught after all of those shenanigans ensue, and like it was really wild. And going through all of that shit and then losing your tooth, getting caught by the cops from a kid, I would hate that. And that's how it sets up for the second movie, but I mean, they get got, and Kevin spends the night alone. Where was the old guy there? He saved him. Why'd he leave him home alone?
That's a good question. They also cleaned up very quickly, but movie magic.
Yeah.
I hate that.
There was tar
excuse.
everywhere.
Suspension
and all
of
that shit.
disbelief. Like the kid, he cleaned up everything.
Yeah. So, what the fuck is the second movie about? Does he gets left alone again?
Yeah, so like at the end of this movie, Kevin spends the night alone. He wakes up. It's Christmas morning. It's snowing. Mom is there. She's like, Kevin. And then he's like, Mom. And then the family shows up not even 5 minutes later on the flight that they were supposed to take back home. And everything is like just fine. Like it's like no problems. And I'm just like, I don't get that. And then the next movie starts and a similar situation happens, but I can't remember exactly. They were supposed to go. They were going again, not to Paris. They were going to Florida for the holidays again.
Not Florida.
Yeah, I know. Can you believe? But yeah, like I think they had some sort of like they all go to the airport this time and Kevin is there, but then he ends up getting on the wrong plane and he doesn't go to Florida. He accidentally tags along with a separate family and goes to New York.
In New York. Oh.
No, I like that tie-in. And then we see Trump, and that was a choice. And then Tim Curry's also in the second one.
Ah. And the third one, he's not in it at all. And that's the one you guys saw a lot.
Correct.
All right. Choices.
But, ugh. And then I think in the second movie, that's when we get the iconic line from Catherine O'Hara. She goes, Kevin! And it's like, the second movie, that one is more like iconic than the first. She did say it in this movie, but it was more like a sad mommy moment. The second movie is more like comedic, like, oh, tee he got left behind again, hee.
We love a callback to past events in our
Negligence.
lives.
That's the movie. That's a quick summary, but that's the movie, baby.
I know, it was really just boy gets left behind, stays home alone,
Solid
battles
games
some
ensue.
demons,
Hijinks.
and then Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess
Alright.
it's just a movie about like a kid beating adults. Kid power. Yay.
The power of family.
Yay. The power of being way too smart for your age.
So, what are our final thoughts?
Let's go into cast. Solid cast. Because this is a kid-centric movie. We're going to say solid cast.
What? No, there was a hot cast. Catherine O'Hara.
Just
Yes.
Catherine O'Hara. She makes up
Just
for everyone.
Absolutely elegant in everything she does. Mm-hmm.
T.
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay was really good. Very charming as a little precocious child.
I always feel bad for kid actors. I think they grow up too fast.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I did a quick
especially
Google search
Macaulay.
and I was like, oop, his childhood not great.
Oh, his
super.
past is terrible.
Terrible.
Like,
Well,
Well,
he-
let's not dwell on it because he's doing really well right now.
Yeah, I think he's doing well right now.
oh
So-
yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I told you guys he's married or whatever. He
To
has a
Brenda
kid
Song.
now.
Brenda Song,
Yep.
who
Congratulations.
features in a movie coming up soon.
sneak peek. Soundtrack / score. I loved it. I love John Williams. It was very nice and Christmassy and
I can't believe
yeah.
when you guys said John Williams, you guys were like, "Oh yeah, Harry Potter,
Star Wars.
Fucking
I know.
Star Wars,
Wars.
Indiana Jones,
E.T.
Jurassic Park, Jaws." No, Harry Potter's like the last thing I'm going to be thinking.
Well,
Of course you
during
are.
During this one, I kind of thought more Harry Potter than anything else.
Yeah, because it's the Yeah, I feel like
But-
the jauntiness of it remind me so much of
exactly.
the Harry Potter
No, that's
theme.
what I
Yeah.
that like just the whimsical jauntiness of this particular score compared to Jaws.
And I
Star
think
Wars,
there
anything
was
like that.
an absolute renewed interest in TikTok last year when the kazoo version of Home Alone came out, and
I
Quetzal
actually didn't
has a kazoo.
know that one.
You did? Are you kidding me? It was so popular. When Antoine heard it,
Are
he was
you
just like,
kidding me?
All right, you guys. Want me to
Antoine's
watch
like,
this?
this is the movie where it's from. This is it.
Should I watch it?
If you want to,
Why don't you just get the Quetzal version?
yeah, take it away.
Is it good?
I will play us out to whatever Christmas song you want at the end.
Great.
But yeah, it's a very solid score. It really was, I think, everything. It really carried the movie so perfectly.
Costume design. I want to talk about this. Fucking Kevin's little pajama sets. Ooh.
Yes.
Yes, bitch. Loved
Not
it.
my
I
little
want
robe.
his little robe and his little PJ sets. I want them so bad.
Y'all make adult sizes.
Y'all, me to any kids' clothes. Y'all make adult sizes in this? They're so fucking stylish.
Remember I said like the dad had like a Burberry coat? I was like,
Okay,
okay,
Burberry coat.
Burberry. Like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
And,
And then mom.
oh yeah,
Always mom.
everything that Catherine O'Hara was wearing. Oh Lord.
And then the what is it? The Letterman jacket that Buzz was wearing. It was also a
My
very
boy Buzz.
specific bully look.
Totes. I think everybody was kind of like a trope, like the kid that wet the bed. He looked like a total fucking nerd, and that's actually Macaulay Culkin's younger brother in real life.
Oh,
So if they looked alike, it's because they're brothers.
is he the one who was in Scott Pilgrim?
Kieran?
He's handsome.
Oh,
Yeah.
He grew up to be very handsome.
Yeah. So that was really funny. I think that they really like took a snapshot of the style at the time, because I looked at that and I'm just like, whoa, that is
That's
so like
90s.
that's so 90s.
As for whether me, the loser, feels like this was, worth the watch, worth the hype. This was my thought. I love Christmas. I'm really biased. If it's on, you should watch it. If it's not your jush, I think you should at least watch the whole burgling scene with all the traps coming to life and stuff. And I think you'd be fine. Thoughts?
I think that the physical comedy of it,
It was so good.
I didn't like it when I was a kid, because I could put myself like in their shoes and I'm like, oh no, that looks painful. But now I'm just like, I was laughing. I was like, that was
Slapstick.
funny. But I imagine myself still. I'm like, if I got hit in the forehead with the fucking iron and it was like on my face.
Ooh, from that height too. I think I'm just dead.
Oh, I mean,
I always forget how many pounds of force it takes to like crack your neck or something like that. But I'm pretty sure it's a very low amount.
if you like physical
Ew.
comedy, this is it. It doesn't get more physical comedy than like people getting hurt, right? Like that's like the whole point of it. I feel like it was maybe like 15% Christmas, and then 15, or then the rest of it was like physical comedy and like gags, you know,
Yeah.
like when they tipped over the statue like 3 different times.
Yeah.
But I think you could, even though I brought this up because I have so many things to say. I think that you could probably go your entire life not watching this movie, but I think that it is so totally worth the hype.
Oh yeah, if you're doing like a Christmas movie season thing, like you're trying to watch Christmas movies all throughout December, this is definitely one to like put inside of that list.
I will agree. I think those are, different questions. You could go your whole life without watching it, but I didn't, because it was so hyped up, I thought maybe I wouldn't like it. I liked it. I think it definitely lived up to it. Like, yeah, put it on. If it's on, watch it. I'm still I'm still gonna go to my go-tos, Elf and the Grinch, but I would keep this on if it was on ABC Family or Freeform.
Freeform. Any thoughts, Sky?
I do think you should at least watch this once. It's on every list of like, regardless of if it's a Christmas movie list or like 100 movies to watch before you die list. It's a good movie. It's a little heartwarming movie.
It's not cringy, which is what I was expecting.
No, it's just good. So I think you should watch it once.
Definitely after you watch this, watch the documentary that's on Netflix, because that was very fun. And they have some of the actors go in there and talk about it. Like, yeah, I think it's good. Again, like, you probably could go your whole life without watching it, but I can agree with what you watching it at least once just to say that you have, absolutely.
Yeah, it truly is not
referenced
cringy.
so much.
I mean, can you even do the like, like, you know, your hands to your face and screaming and not be like Home Alone?
Yeah.
You know, wonder. I'm like, did it really hurt that bad? It's aftershave, right?
It is aftershave.
Nowadays, I don't know. We just use, shaving cream and everything. I don't use aftershave necessarily. And I think even when I did have some around, I was like, it's not that bad. Is it?
He's also
I've never used it.
Yeah, he's also
That
it's also
tender
movie matters.
skin.
He's got baby skin.
Baby
He's
skin.
baby.
He wasn't actually shaving though. Was he?
No, I don't think so. He's like,
He was just throwing.
I took a bath with soap for once, and I was like, ooh.
I love that.
Do you think
How
that?
quintessentially 8-year-old.
Yeah. Do you think that
Truly.
kids these days, like in 2021, would enjoy this film that was made 30 years ago? Did I just hurt you guys? Because you guys were silent for a second. You're
Trying
like,
to think, like, I don't know. 8
I don't
years
know what
old.
kids like these days.
Oh, well, here's the thing.
So confusing.
My partner teacher last year, because we were virtual, we tried to make it fun and do like movie Fridays and stuff. Because goddamn, we were tired. She played like the Goonies and stuff for them, and the kids were really not the Goonies, like the Sandlot and those kind of films, and they were pretty which I've never seen the Sandlot.
I haven't
if
either.
I don't
Or
remember.
the
Loved it.
Goonies.
Such a good movie.
Both, same on both. But she was showing them like older movies, and like they seemed, from what she told me, they were very enthralled by them. I think there's a sense of like, oh, this movie's so old, but like
Childlike
these sort of
wonder.
themes. Yeah, these sort of themes and like slapstick humor. Kids love slapstick humor. They love physical comedy. Like,
They love
I
hitting
think
each
they'll
other.
enjoy it. They truly can't get their hands off each other. They try to trip each other all week.
oops.
Oof. You know, flat tires, push each other, you know. Made you look. Is your hand bigger than your face? You might have cancer. Smack.
Yeah.
Oh, you've never heard that one?
You've never played that?
No.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Did you live?
I guess not.
Maybe I'm not a
Kids
dumb
are
bitch.
ruthless. Oh,
Probably you didn't fall for that shit. Like
fall
I
for
can
that
imagine
shit.
my kids loving the trap scenes of all of them. Like they would fucking love that shit. So
Mm-hmm. No,
If-
that's true.
That's because they draw things about Pennywise and stuff. Your kids are demented.
not
That's
the
true.
Pennywise.
This is
That
from
is-
years
that
ago,
is
so
true.
it's not any of your current students. So you'll be fine, any of you who happen to listen to this.
They know
the
what the nun
sentiment's
and
there.
Pennywise is.
I also want to say I really loved it when I think it was Antonio said, "Y'all want to play a game?" The moment the burglars entered the house,
Because it was like Saw.
it was dark and creepy.
Did you guys have any quotes that you liked? Do you want
yeah.
to leave off with?
My favorite, we'll have two. One's just a phrase and one's an actual quote. They're all from Buzz.
But of course.
One of them is when he called Kevin a phlegm wad, which I was like, oh, that's disgusting and very creative. That's like disgusting,
gross, but creative.
Very creative. Listen, I think this shit's funny. Side note, we can get this out. I told you guys about the dick drawing, right? That happened.
Oh yeah,
Correct.
all over someone's shirt. Yeah.
Did you hear about how that same kid was scaring second graders?
No.
At what grade is he in?
Also, I want to know something first. Is like,
Yeah.
how did they get away with drawing all of those dicks on the shirt without getting caught? Or did they get caught as
Their
they were
teacher
doing
wasn't
it?
paying attention.
First of all, it wasn't under my purview, so jot that down. It was
Oh.
my partner.
I never
Secondly-
questioned that.
Also,
Was that
secondly,
true though?
I have 30 children, all of which are going, Teacher Mears, and they need my help. I tell them to, I'm like, there's only so many of me, guys. I wish I could clone myself and each of you could have one of me, but I can't. So this kind of shit happens. Like, you turn away for a second, you have your eyes on like 4 kids, but then suddenly someone behind you is... Shit
Got
happens.
dicks all over their shirt. You know, you just gotta be like.
That's
on a
how
high-
it is in life sometimes. One moment you don't have dicks written all over your shirt, and then sometimes you do.
Life comes at you fast.
Life
Mine
comes at you
so
so fast.
So do the dicks on your shirt.
They sure do.
So that same kid who drew the dicks, the music teacher came and was like, I'm not gonna say the name in case I keep this in. Came in and was like, this student is scaring second graders in the bathroom because he's making ghost sounds, and now the second graders are too afraid to go to the bathroom. And
That kid is my hero.
So mean.
That kid is my hero.
And that kid needs
And-
to be evicted.
sedated.
No, that kid needs a medal.
So I thought this was the funniest thing I've ever heard. But of course I had to be like, I'm gonna call him Kevin. I was like, Kevin, come over here. We need to talk. Thank you, Miss. We got this. And I was like, Kevin, I'm gonna have to talk to your mother. And he was like, And I sent, and I gave him a little talking to. I didn't call his mom. It's fine. It's fine. The second graders should know a little.
They
better.
deserve it.
They're
I
not.
mean,
They're not kindergartners.
what if they never go to use the bathroom ever again?
They'll die.
That's on them.
Yeah, that's on them.
Why
I thought it was
didn't you
the
tell me
funniest
this?
thing.
God,
Story.
are you Kevin's mother?
First of all, I want to know why you didn't tell me this story before, because everybody used the bathroom before me earlier, and I could have just gone up to the door and been like, ooh.
Like, also, I feel like this student, I think the spirit of October just overtook him, and he was like, fuck yeah, spooky season. So who am I to
Okay,
damper that?
Kevin, go off, but also watch yourself, watch your mouth.
Go off, but at appropriate times, at appropriate levels.
Now just
True.
go off, Kevin.
Go off, Kev. Anyway, so the other quote I have is, again, from Buzz. I wouldn't let you sleep in my room if you were sleeping on my ass. Or
If you were
growing on my ass.
on my
Sorry,
ass.
growing on my ass. I misread that. I'm gonna try. Yeah. Thank you, Buzz. Is Buzz short for something?
Buzzerton.
I think that it's just Buzz.
Buzzrick?
I don't think it's short for anything.
Buzzard.
Blizzard?
Buzzard.
Lord.
God, there are so many memorable quotes, but I can't remember any of them.
You
liked
have not
the-
been able to give us a quote for the last 10 episodes.
Me,
There are only like 8 episodes out.
it's like the Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
I mean, that's an iconic one. I'm trying to think of like, I know there's a moment that kind of stood out where when Catherine O'Hara's character is talking to the old lady to try to get her tickets, and the lady's like, "Is that a real Rolex?" And she's like, "Do you think it looks like one?" And she's like, "No." That like stood out. And
but who can tell?
but I mean, there's just your generic like, you Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, or keep the change, you filthy animals. Those ones are really good.
Animals, please.
Please, Animals. Sky, what's yours?
Well, I was asleep for some of the movie, so
But you
I don't
always
know.
say Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
I do say
That's
that a
your
lot.
go-to.
I do like the second one you wrote down, Ketzel. That one was very funny and also very creative.
Very.
Yes.
I
Buzz
also like
is
the
great.
one. Yeah, I like when he's talking to the sister. The one you were talking about, where he's like, "A, I wouldn't be that lucky. 2, blah 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 blah, and then D, blah 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 blah." I was like, okay. Okay, girl.
That annoyed me. So
One,
I'm not in
that
the
lucky.
same vibe.
2, we live on the most boring street in America where nothing ever happens.
Yeah. I just like how it was like A, 2, and D. I was like, that makes no sense.
I love you, Buzzard.
I can't believe that's. Is that really what he said?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like one, or no, it was like, yeah, A, I think it was like A, 2, and then D. And I was like,
So good.
Girl.
So funny.
I'm going to start presenting
a
all time
struggle.
PowerPoints like that. A, 2, D.
You can't teach
Gamma.
charisma like that. You truly can't.
oh my
You're
God.
just born with it and some buck teeth.
Also, can I say that I love John Candy's little cameo in this?
Yeah, I was gonna ask
He's
you about
so
that because
wonderful.
he's SNL too, isn't he? Like, they did
No,
a
I don't
lot
think
of
he is.
skits.
I don't think.
Well, I know the movie. Another fun fact is like he was in a movie called Uncle Buck with
Mhm.
Macaulay Culkin, and he made this cameo in this movie because of that connection. They wanted him to be in it so hard, so he's like, "Yo, I only got like 7 hours to do this. Tell me what to fucking do," and they did it.
Yeah, it's such a nice little cameo. R.I.P.
John Candy wasn't on SNL.
He wasn't.
He gives me those vibes. I could just be like, I didn't grow up watching SNL. We have talked about that before.
Yeah,
I
no,
did not
he
either.
hasn't.
I still don't pay attention to most things SNL related.
Casey
He
Musgraves
hasn't.
is going to be there soon.
Good.
Today, actually. I think Casey Musgraves and Owen Wilson. Wow.
Wow, that's a very interesting
I think you mean
combo.
wow.
It's like maple syrup, brown sugar.
You're welcome.
Pick a song.
Jingle Bells. It's easy.
No, I want Carol of the Bells.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Okay, you do the jingling, Antonio, and I'll do the kazooing.
Are we
okay?
doing Carol of the Bells though? Just to
Yeah.
be sure.
Yes,
We're
yes,
doing.
yes,
We're
yes.
doing. Ready?
Dance,
One.
monkeys, dance.
1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3.
The second hand embarrassment I have right now is astronomical.
The what?
The second hand embarrassment I have and I do not get, you guys all know that. I don't get that very often, but astronomical.
I want to play that back.
Clearly you weren't there when we were all going, at the end of the movie. I guess we can leave off on that.
All right, everyone, go home. Packing it up.
Merry Christmas.
Stay safe out there. Have fun with families.
Happy holidays.
Happy
And if
holidays.
you don't have any family, we're your family.
Happy
So
holidays.
happy holidays, pal.
We love you.
We love
And-
you.
You know, Happy New Year too.
And a happy new year. Stay safe on that.
And God bless us, everyone.
All right. All right.